Hey everyone, welcome back to another Tech Teacher Brightspace D2L lesson. So far we've been talking about posting content, and we're going to be moving now into creating content, and the difference being that posting content is you're finding material that someone else has made on YouTube or on some sort of document that you're posting to your online classroom. Now that we're moving on to creating content, this would be more like you're not really finding something specific to a lesson you want to do, or you just want to give your own spin on it, interact with your kids more. That's where the creating content aspect comes into. Before I actually show you how to use the tools, this video is more an introductory on what we're going to be looking at, kind of a get ready sort of thing. The first thing I want to mention is that since most school boards provide some kind of work laptop, you've already got most of the tools you need to get going. Our board in particular is given a touchscreen Lenovo laptop, which is great because that covers a lot of the bases you need. If your laptop isn't touchscreen, don't worry about it. There's still workarounds through that. But by being given that laptop, you already have a webcam and a microphone, which are the two most essential things to any online teaching. Just the touchscreen is a nice little feature. So the first thing we're going to look at is what hardware you need. If you've been given a touchscreen laptop, great. What really pairs along well with it is a stylus. And a stylus is, you can get them in two sort of form factors. One being the rubber dome stylus, and the other being a finer tip stylus. So what I'll show you. So for example, this $10 stylus here will do most of the work for you on your laptop when it goes to writing, as long as it's a touchscreen laptop. You can use this to write out equations or just practice printing, give examples in that sort of sense. If you're looking for something with a little more of a finer tip because you want to see what you're writing, you can spend a little more money for an Adonit, which I'm going to look up specifically. So if you're looking for something that's a little more fine tip, there is this option available as well, where you'll see that there's a little plastic tip that acts as the engager, but you can also see kind of what you're writing and do a little better there. So again, this pairs really well with a touchscreen laptop or an iPad if you're using that to get down some serious writing. Now the price does go up a bit. You're looking at about $40 for that, but a little bit of a trade-off. If you want to get really fancy, you can buy one of these nice Surface pens or other pens along this line that feature, it's mostly what you'll be paying for. One is the responsiveness, and two, the button functionality. So these will give you more of a pen feel as you're writing on you're still writing on glass, so it's not going to be perfect, but this will be the most accurate and give you the most functionality as far as shortcuts and other things like that are concerned. So for example, if you were to make a mistake, you can program this button right here to undo that mistake that you just made, and you can continue writing. So that's an option for people with touchscreen laptops. If you don't have a touchscreen laptop, which I do not because I use my desktop for my teaching, which is fine. It's what I wanted, so I had to go a little extra to get some extra tools. But there are these great little tools called Wacom Tablets. And these Wacom Tablets act as a touchscreen for you. So in this case here, with this one, as you can see, this is what I'm using currently, with the little removable pen at the top. You would draw on here, and this would act as your screen. Takes a little bit of practice. And as you can see, the price tag on it is a bit higher. There are some more features like the buttons on top and the pressure sensitivity, which as someone who is not an artist, because I believe that's what these were specifically designed for, I don't see many of those features through. But as a teacher, great tool for me because I can write on a whiteboard with my students and show them examples of what I'm trying to teach them, which is great because there's just some things you can't type out on Microsoft Word, right? When looking at these Wacom tablets, and just to be clear, not sponsored by Wacom, just a big fan of their products, there's two options at sort of the entry level. There's this one for $104 and this one for $139. This one here is just Bluetooth. It's wireless. That's the difference. So you can pay a little more for that. I did because I've already got a bazillion cords hanging here and I didn't want any more. Now that you have your tools, your hardware, we can look at what software you need to work alongside it. The first being a program called Loom. Loom is free to download. I believe there is a paid version, but our board has currently licensed it. Now, there are some limitations with the free stuff, so you can potentially work around it. But Loom is a great program, and this is their website, just loom.com, because it takes a lot of the strenuous part out of recording your screen and uploading it to a video hosting website and trimming it and all that, and condenses it in just one easy step. So I'm going to deactivate my webcam, because when I open Loom, it confuses the program that I use to do it and just freezes my face, so it looks kind of silly. So once you've got Loom downloaded, you can go ahead and run it. And in this case, when I run it, it opens up to this default tab. Now, this window here in particular, I'm going to make my pointer a little bigger so you can see everything, what I'm pointing at here. It gives you really three options. You can record the screen plus the webcam. Now, my webcam here is loading. It's not going to load because, again, it's conflicting with the program that I'm using. And you can move this around really wherever you want. I tend to leave it on the bottom right because, honestly, it just kind of started off with streamers, video game streamers, and it just sort of stuck. So I leave mine down here. You can put it wherever you want. And by default, if you're using a laptop, this should just say default so-and-so. It'll give it the model of the laptop and default so-and-so. So this would be your webcam and what mic you want it to use, essentially. So when you hit whatever option you want, so let's say I just want to record my screen. I'm looking kind of bed hairy and I've got not looking my best at the moment. So I just want to show my screen. You can click start recording. Now I've got two monitors, so it shouldn't ask you which one you want to record. I'm going to record this one. And luckily it gives you a bit of a countdown. So now I can teach, I can talk, all of this is being recorded. My students will hear everything and see everything that I'm doing, pretending that I'm teaching them some sort of quantum physics here. And you'll notice the screen's kind of disappeared, but if I take a look far to the left, there's a little stop button here. And you can either stop the recording, pause the recording, restart, or cancel. Now, my biggest gripe with Loom at the time I was thinking was that I had to do this all in one shot. For those of you that know me, I stumble on my words, I talk pretty fast, and I make a lot of mistakes. So I figured Loom's not for me, I can't do everything in one take, I'll mess up. But after reading into it some more, it's quite comprehensive. So let's say I hit stop here, I'm happy with my recording. Opens up, and it takes me right to the video that I just made. It's 44 seconds. I can watch it. I can copy the link. I can add a password to it. Here it is. I can rename it if I want. It's all in one place for me. And this goes back to my point of making this as easy as possible for teachers. This was one step. I hit two buttons, record and stop, and everything is here. Now, what's great about it is, let's say I made a mistake, you can actually trim certain sections out. And from here, you can decide what part you want to take out and what part you want to leave. And you can do this as many times as you want to make your video perfect. And for the people that have been following along with my videos, one of the things I really preached was embedding the video onto the content tab to keep it all together. The great thing about Loom is you can do the same thing. This little arrow here, which when you hover it over, it says share. I don't know if you can see it past my giant hand, but if you click that, there's also the embed option here. And you can copy the code and go and paste it onto your content tab. So Loom's another great tool. Now, just to be clear, this video is not really going to get too comprehensive into everything. It's just going to kind of show you what you need, and then we'll cover how I used it a little later. The other software you'll need, the one that I kind of use hand in hand with Loom, or with my version of Loom, I guess you could say, is Microsoft Whiteboard. Microsoft Whiteboard is exactly what it sounds like. Microsoft Whiteboard is a blank canvas for you to write on. So this is where I did a lot of my number talks or my equations or any sort of writing. If we were practicing some kind of drawing technique, I also did it in here. It came in very handy. Now, I didn't just use Whiteboard 100% of the time. There were other things that I did, but I found myself mostly going back to this. And in here, you can paste in images and write right on top of them if you have some sort of practice worksheet that the students are doing, whatever. Just a great, fantastic tool. And by using my pen, I can write along here. And as it's being recorded, it's also picking all this stuff up so the students can see my thought process, see how I'm doing things, and go from there. So really, to sum up this video, once you have those three things, so a writing tool of some sort, a screen recording software, in this case, which is Loom, and Microsoft Whiteboard, you're pretty well set to create your own content, to create a lesson for yourself, for your students, to address a certain subject or a topic or a strategy that you really want to teach them. Another great tip I can give is, although your laptop has a microphone in it, it's okay. It's okay. I'd suggest grabbing the pair of headphones that usually comes with a cell phone. So if you got an Apple phone, a Google phone, a Samsung phone, whatever you have, usually comes with a pair of headphones that's used for making calls. And there's a little microphone built into the volume switcher. That just gives you a little more control over the sound, as opposed to it being a few feet away from you in your laptop. It's inches away by your mouth. So that way you can talk and be a little louder and also control the volume of your voice a little better that way. Otherwise, that's it for this video, really. I just want to make sure that everyone's prepared. So moving on to the next video, we'll look at how to properly use Loom to its fullest advantage, along with Microsoft Whiteboard, and I'll teach you kind of what the buttons do in there and how to figure it out from there. Okay, so make sure you get on that and be prepared for the next video, and you guys can follow along that way. All right, thanks for watching. Make sure to give the page a like. Check out our website on our website, which I'm going to link here. Nope, this way. I'm going to link it over here, and you'll see that I've collected all the videos that I've made so far and put them in a nice, easy to follow playlist from there. All right, so I'll see you guys soon, and good luck.